it's Ashwin Rao. Today's video brings us to revisit this beautiful pair that I just restored using pure polish products and a Wellington brush as well as some cloths to restore this beautiful Norwegian Split Toe Derby by Mecariello. I wanted to take this time to not only revisit Mecariello, but to talk about this specific makeup and what makes it special in my mind and why his Norwegian Split Toe Derby seems to be the iconic model for Norwegian Split Toe Derbies outside of the Edward Green Dover that exists in the world today. So let's get to it. So we're going to start with this shoe here. You can see first the beautiful shine that was applied using pure polish products. I've used those products extensively over the past couple years, and in this case I used the dark brown wax polish intermixed in different layers with the high shine wax polish, which you can see there. Prior to that, I applied one application of very light leather cleaner and conditioner just to rehydrate the shoes. And then I also used a weather resistant light brown polish to essentially protect the shoes from the elements, because the weather resistant polish does a really nice job of providing a general protective layer that gives the shoe a general luster and shine, which you can see through here. So Meccariello's Norwegian Split Toe Derby, as you can see here, employs a hand-sewn apron. This is what's described as a pie crust apron because it has this hand-sewn scalloped appearance around the edge, not unlike a pie crust. His particular model has this seam down the middle. This is a reverse skin stitch or a hidden skin stitch. You can either see several different variations of this particular joint here, which can either be a raised joint, a skin stitch, or just a simple line where the two pieces of leather are fastened together. So different versions, but I like the Meccariello version quite well. You can see that this uses a softer square last, which actually fits me quite well, and has a relatively low instep here. So sometimes I get a little bit of friction across the vamp right here onto my feet, but it's nothing that's intolerable over the course of the day. Beyond that, you can see that there's a patina applied, which is this mid-brown, yellowish brown, noche chestnut colored patina, and then a dark burnishing that Antonio has applied. So I tried to supplement that burnish with this dark brown wax polish, as you can see here, to create more of that dark brown color intermixed with this high shine polish, which you see right here. So putting aside the brush that I used to restore this using pure polish products, I wanted to take you through a few more details here. You can see that this leather is a unique leather. This is a pigskin, specifically peccary leather, that has been specifically tanned by Meccariello to give it a thicker handle. Similar to horsebutt leather or even shell cordovan, it forms rolls with some micro creases rather than any substantial creases, and doesn't seem to have any loose grain or anything like that. This is a pair that I got on the used market and restored about 1.5 years ago, and it's maintained its luster, its shape, and its tactile properties quite well. You can see the texture of this pigskin has this unique grain structure to it that I think is what makes peccary leather really stand out, because you can see it catches light really uniquely here. Other features of the shoe that I think are well worth noticing are this back heel counter, which has no seam here, which speaks to a higher level of quality and craftsmanship in terms of the lasting process. You can see the gentle taper to the back heel counter with this beautiful double row of stitching that's echoed here along the collar of the shoe. You can see that this shoe employs more of a block style heel rather than a tapered heel, which gives it a slightly more casual feel, which when coupled with this straight edge to the waist of the shoe makes it a more casual vibe. Yet the shoe still has this gentle fiddleback, characteristic of many of his Argentum lineup shoes. And I had John at Busy Shoes in Belltown here in Seattle, who's a local cobbler with whom I've worked, apply this beautiful rubber topi as well as this metal toe plate to protect the sole in Northwest's weather, which is rainy for a large chunk of the year. I left the back heel essentially untouched because I wanted to preserve the original rubber here, but I may eventually replace that once that wears out. You can see how well skived down the leather is. That adds a nice degree of elegance here. You can also see the fudge detailing along the edge of the outsole and this very high level of stitch density for the outsole stitching. You can see the blind waist here and here. I don't think you can go wrong with Antonio, and in my opinion, his Norwegian Split Toe Derby truly is one of the iconic Norwegian Split Toe Derbies of modern menswear, maybe alongside the Edward Green Dover, but in my mind, I like the shape and styling of Antonio's offerings a little bit more. So certainly give Antonio Meccariello a consideration if you're thinking about entry into the high end of men's shoes in the classic dresswear category. I don't think you're going to go wrong. You can see this beautiful profile, you can see the beautiful leather choice, you can just see how well adorned this shoe is from start to finish. If you need any resoling work done, look to John at Busy Shoes in Belltown. You are not going to go wrong with John. And I hope you're doing well. Take care. And goodbye.